today was summer school registration, and it's just like at noon here in Pacific, so I need to make sure I get my kid in class. So I'm sorry I had to prompt into this time. So hopefully I'm not taking up too much time here, guys. I'm gonna share. Oh, looks like you guys are all seeing my screen already. Yeah, thumbs up. So I know you guys seeing it. Yeah, okay. Hopefully. All right. Well, cool. My name is Jesse. I'm one of the co-founders here at Pebble. Um, we do this every week. Typically, Kevin is here with me. I'm not the technical guy on the team, but I know enough to be dangerous here, and I'm going to try my best to answer questions you guys have. Okay, so we have about half an hour here together. If there's any sort of account-related stuff, typically I'm not going to be able to answer it on this call, but I'm going to try my best. I may divert you to some resources and whatnot, but I'm going to certainly try my best here to answer your guys' questions. So thank you so much for some of you guys who pre-submitted questions here. And yeah, here we go. Let's make sure I don't embarrass myself. All right. Okay. So let's jump right into it. Mike asks how to import a list and track leads and ROAS from a direct mail campaign sent by an external mail house, how to set up and track follow-up automations, how to use them. Woo, that is a few different questions there. Okay, so I'm happy to answer your questions. Let's let's just jump into my what's going on here? Okay, so we're going to jump into my staging account here. By the way, this account might be a little buggy, but this is where I do most of my testing or our team testing on the platform, okay? So I'm going to just make sure I see the question here. Okay, so yeah, very straightforward. If you want to mail with a mail house, you can easily do so. So I've got an article here. So I'm still going to explain it, but I do want to make sure you guys understand where you can find these kind of things, okay? So if you go to help here, I'm going to pull it up. Help. Okay, inside of our knowledge base here, I've got an article here that says print, I think I type in print and mailhouse here. Sending a campaign with your own print and mailhouse. We've got a video explaining how to do this. Essentially, you're just going to do the same thing. You're going to import a campaign and then you're going to re-export it out. And then you might be thinking, Jesse, why would I ever do that? Well, two reasons. Number one is you want your properties existing inside of Pebble before you do your marketing, because once those leads come in, you want to be able to associate that lead with the property that you've already brought into Pebble. Otherwise, it's like, okay, you're going to start adding them one-on-one. No, you're not going to do that. You're going to bring them in before you start your marketing. Number two, you're going to get our mail codes on there. Really important, because if you want to track things like your ROAS and other things like that, you'll definitely want to have the mail code. The mail code is a code that we assign to every single piece of physical mailer. Okay, I don't care if you're mailing them 3, 4, 5 times across the year. Every time we assign a new code, it's important because then we can track back to the specific campaign and see how well it's performing. A lot of people are just giving codes to properties. That to us doesn't matter. It's just like, well, like, what's the difference between that and APN, right? So, I mean, sure, some APNs do duplicate across different counties, but anyways, you know, we're not identifying the property only. We're identifying the physical piece of mail. So again, you would come into campaigns here, create a campaign, and all you do once you create a campaign, you're going to select all of them and then export them out as a CSV, and then use that as your spreadsheet to merge with your mail house. Okay. Now there are certain advantages of using our mail. I don't care if you do. Well, I mean, I prefer if you do. Obviously, there's a few things. You have full control over your mailing. Any other mail house, you don't. Once you're committed, you're committed. You know, Mike, who's been on my podcast before, was working with the mail house you mentioned in your question. And that was 4,000 mailers confirmed, but he realized he shifted the price by one cell. And every offer was off. You can't do anything. Once you're committed, you're committed. Once you approve the proof, you are committed. With Pebble, you have full control. I can stop things. I don't, I can adjust my daily flow. Let's say I'm sending 100 a day. I can adjust it back down to 2 a day if I'm going on vacation soon, or I can increase it to 1,000 a day. You have full control. If I wanted to change my mailer type, I have full control. There are no minimums as well. So just a few things. You have full tracking inside every single piece. I can click in and look at the, oops, click the wrong thing here, but I can click into the mail. Once it's mailed, I'd be able to see it, and I can see the tracking status that USPS provided me. Okay, so just a heads up, it's not always about the dollar. I understand some places you may, I think there's only one other place, and we come out of the same facility, but you just get a lot more control over your mailing. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go back to the question, and you asked here how to set up and track and follow up automations. Okay, I think somebody else asked about follow up, so I can do that afterwards. Or I can do that now. What else here? So tracking your ROAS, you will want, this is the main thing here. You want to come to the campaign and enter the amount spent. The amount spent here. Hey guys, I think there's a number of you guys in here. Do you mind turning on the camera? It's just kind of weird talking to nobody. I don't even know here. It'd be great to see faces as well. I always encourage you guys to turn on camera. Yeah. Hey, Brian, good to see you again. Bakta, good to see you. Cool. All right. Thank you. It just makes us feel like a little bit more normal for me. I'm quite insecure in front of the camera, so appreciate it. Okay, next question we have here, how to track and set up automations. Okay, automations, again, if you don't know, it's in our knowledge base. There's something called auto follow-ups. Couple parts of this. Number one, you need to set up your follow-up plan, right? To do that, you can come to auto follow-ups here. Number two, you need to enroll a contact into an auto follow-up plan, okay? Now, this isn't cold outreach follow-up. This is not allowed to be done that way. So when I say not allowed, typically you're not supposed to be texting, emailing, doing any of that stuff legally. So we do have to adhere to that. But I'm talking about following up with an active lead. Okay, I'm talking about the solicited follow-ups. Okay, we cannot do unsolicited follow-ups. Now, to create your plan, to come to your auto follow-up plan, pretty straightforward here. You can add a plan. I can build out a 100-step plan. I can email, I can text, I can send a physical mail. This is one's great because I like to send an increased offer and then a call reminder. So I may want to send somebody who's interested, but then kind of dropped off the face of the planet. And I don't hear back from them. Well, I'll send them an email, and then I'm gonna send them a text and another text. Then I'm going to start sending them with mailers. I mean, it doesn't cost you a lot. It's only a few cents, right? And that's the beauty about our mailing system as well. Now I can see every mail piece against that property record and how many times I've mailed them. Okay, I can also set up a call reminder. You can build out your steps here. If you want, ask ChatGPT or whatever to, build out a sequence for you, give them a huge context of what's going on, what you're trying to do. So that's the first part. You want to build those templates out, okay? The second part is you'll want to enroll them. So I'll come to my deal board. I can enroll them. So like Tracy here, I can quick enroll her into a follow-up plan. Now you might be wondering, well, Jesse, I just want to drag them in and have them get followed up. We don't do that because there's been so many cases where people want to say, hey, even though they're in the due diligence or offer sent out stage, I want to choose the plan that they're in. Okay, people like to get very granular at that, and then also there's associated costs, and we don't want to incur costs you're not aware of. So we do the next best thing here, very easy. Just hit quick enroll and choose the plan, and then off to the races. You'll be able to track them. Like here it says a 0 out of 1 ongoing. You'll be able to just track where they are on the auto follow-ups. As soon as they reply, it will pause. Okay, it will pause that auto follow-up. Okie dokie. Next question. How to use the map feature in deal cards. Mike, are you here? Mike. Do I see a mic? I don't see a mic. Okay, well, since it was asked, I don't know what that question really entails, but a deal card. A deal is a container of a contact and the property. If you haven't joined my leads and deal workshop on Friday, where I show you how to manage a deal, how to manage this pipeline, how to get things onto this deal board, I'm going to get Diana to drop it in the chat so you can join me on the Friday. It's a work-along session. We go through our inboxes and our deal boards, okay? But I'm going to still explain it to you right now. This is a deal card, and it contains properties here. Because we're moving this deal across the different stages to acquire, maybe one or maybe both in this case. But you can see here I've got property here and a property here, okay? I can toggle into the property to look at it from here. Okay, Diana shared it in the chat. If you want to join me on the deals and workshop, deal leads and deal workshop, go ahead and click that. That's 11:30 Pacific, 2:30 Eastern, and everything else in between. Okay, so here's a map. I can literally click and set this as the boundary. No, we will not know all corners of the property. You never shared that with us, and no system knows all corners of the property. So you do need to go in and click and set boundary to mark your property. You wouldn't do that until you're actually working on it, but we'll find the center point of that property. You saw earlier that 1 acre square on top of it. From here, maybe you want to look at wetlands and your flood zones. It's already turned on. Clearly, this is in a flood zone, so yeah, think about that if you actually want to purchase this property. The wetlands here, there's satellite view, there's 3D views to see if it's on a slope, your road access, you measuring the property. Do this, guys. Measure your property with our tool. Why? Well, you're going to see sometimes, oh, it's with the county, it says 10 acres, but it was actually 1 acre. This happens, guys. You can subdivide and chunk things out and measure it as well. So you've got a lot of different tools that you can use. You can full screen it as well. Yeah, and then there's data about the property. And this is something we're going to continue to build out here inside of Pebble. So really exciting stuff that we got coming out for the mapping side of things. I hope that answers that question. Okay, Evan. Evan, are you here? It's so funny when I get these questions. Most of the questions people don't actually attend, so I'm still going to answer it because it benefits everybody here. Need to know how to clear my inbox. I'm getting phone calls and only priority emails. Also need to know how to port my number in, which seems very complicated, or please let me know alternative methods. I'm getting phone calls and only priority emails. How to clear my inbox? I'm not sure what that exactly means, but okay, we'll talk about clearing your inbox. It's pretty straightforward. You just need to go to your inbox here and mark it as archive. Okay, we don't delete anything. This can tie into your Gmail, your phone. Once you're done dealing with this, because the few steps you need to do from here is create a contact, then create the deal, then you're done. You close this out, and then it ends up on your deal board. All you need to do is clear it out by hitting archive. So hopefully that answered that question there. Need to port your number in. It is a very complicated process because the carrier prior needs to release that number, and it's a manual thing. There's no automated thing with releasing numbers. It has to get released, then get transferred over. Nothing we can do about it. It happens all behind the scenes with the carriers. So I would say forget that number if you're not using it, and just adopt a new number, or otherwise get a new number for now to run your business, because you get multiple numbers feeding into this inbox, and then transfer that over during the meantime. So a decision you're going to have to make there, Mike. Okie dokie. I hope that answers your question. Although you're not here. Or that was Evan, sorry. Brian, hey, Brian, you're here. We are assembling a good list of buyers for large tracts of land that we are marketing to. Awesome. Should we put these in our buyer deal board or somewhere else? This would be, for example, a handful of home builders that would be interested in tracts that we are trying to sell. Okay, so I don't think that's probably the best way. Like with your list of buyers, like when I have a list of buyers, I would just create those as contacts at first inside of Pebble. So you can add those contacts in. I think you can actually zap them in now too, because we just released a new Zapier, so to create those contacts, and then just assign them as buyers. Now, when you do have somebody interested in a property on your buy side, it's at that time on my buyer's board, I will create a deal. Maybe it's like, I don't know. He's interested in my property. I'm going to add the property record, then add that buyer potentially. Now, if you're talking like, how do I manage a list of buyers? Like Pebble isn't really going to like market to your list of buyers. I will always get those buyers into a list autoresponder like MailChimp or MailerLite to communicate with them. Hey guys, I've got a piece of property. Um, you, I mean, that would be what I would do, Brian. And I think that's maybe what you're getting at.
Yes. Yeah, it's essentially just kind of, if I've got 15 builders that I work with
Uh,
consistently that might want these properties that I'm going after, how
yeah.
do I manage them?
Yeah. So until they're interested, they shouldn't go onto your deal board. Um, so until they're interested in a specific property, I wouldn't, there's no need to. I mean, I guess I, yeah, my thought here is I think you're trying to market to these guys first. I would send them a message out on MailerLite or MailChimp, right? You want to blast them about, hey guys, I've got a deal here. You want to check it out. If somebody responds back, say, yeah, I'm interested, then you create the deal card. You can, I mean, yeah,
And,
that's probably your best. You can come in your inbox there, and then it's the same process as your seller inbox. Now in my buyer inbox, somebody said, yeah, I'm interested. Great. I'll create the deal again. The contact, which is the buyer, it's already existing, and then create a deal from there, attach the property record and manage it to offload it to him.
okay. All right. But you, on your deal board, you do have a buyer's like properties on their way out.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Um, no, it's not on the deal board. You don't put a property on here until somebody's interested. So like, I get what you're saying. It's like, oh, Jesse, well, I've acquired it. Shouldn't that property just move over to this board? No, because there's no deal opportunity yet. It's just a property. If a property is acquired, it still just stays in your database of properties. I can filter by all my acquired properties. I can see it, but not until there's a contact there. Then I would add it on here. Um, I would keep this board clean until there's actually somebody interested in that purchasing that property. I think what you're trying to say to me is like, hey Jesse, then where can I visually see all my properties that I've acquired and I want to offload? That would happen in the properties area. I would come here and filter down to just acquired properties, which I don't know where the filter is right now. Status. Oh no. Let me transaction. Here we go. If it is per, oh, let me get back to you on how do I filter which filter it is. I think we've updated this recently, but you should be able to just filter down to any property that is purchased between certain date or all of them, and see all the properties that you have acquired. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. You should be able to see it on your dashboard as well as all the properties you've acquired. It should show up here as long as you entered in, what you purchased the property for.
Okay.
Okay. Let me repeat that again, Brian, so you get it. Just because I've acquired a piece of property does not mean it ends up here. It should only end up here when there is a deal opportunity. So here's what I would do. I would email my 15 builders saying, hey, I've got this property. Anybody interested? Somebody replies back to you, goes in your inbox. Great. I'll continue the conversation. I'll create the deal. Todd, who's developing properties, is interested in my 15 acres. Great. I'll create the deal, add the property to that, and Todd is my buyer deal. He's looking to, and then I'm going to track Todd with that property across the different stages.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Okay. Khalil here asks, what is the best practice for importing campaigns and splitting lists to track mail? Splitting lists to track mail. Seems like maybe a chore to identify which list a mail leads belong to. Starting a split test. Wondering if you have a simple workaround. Okay. Yeah, it's very easy. So who was asking that? Khalil was asking here. Khalil, are you here? No. So if I am running a mailing campaign, right, like version A and version B, because I uploaded a list, I'm going to run a split test. Half of this list is going to get a postcard, half is going to get a letter. How do I know easily when they come in, how do I know which campaign they belong to? Well, as long as they give you the code, this code here, we're going to know exactly which deal they belong or which campaign they belong to. So let's just say somebody did message me, left me a voicemail here. Let's pretend there's a voicemail. His name is Let's say, sorry, Brian. I'm just gonna use you. Let's say his name is Brian. He's a potential buyer. Cool. And on that phone call, he said, "Yeah, by the way, you left me a mailer, and the code on there is like, let's just say it's 10 dash blah 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 blah. I don't know. Great. I've selected that. When I create this deal, I'm gonna archive this. I'm done handling. I'm gonna go to the deal board now. And I'm scrolling down to that deal I just created. It will actually attribute this to a specific campaign. Now, you say, well, Jesse, it didn't get selected because we deleted the campaign. This is my dummy account, but it would have pre-selected this campaign due to that code. Now, there are going to be times it's just, hey, my name is Brian, and maybe we mailed his middle name or something, and I don't have him. I don't know who he is. I don't even know what campaign he belongs to. I just know which county, but maybe I, ran a split test to that county with 2 mailers. I won't know until I find out a little bit more, like his APN. The APN will reveal to me which campaign he belonged to, because he'll tell me his APN. I'm gonna add the property, and let's just say it's like, I don't know. And just so everybody knows, APN is the parcel number. I'll select that property. It belongs to this. I still don't know which campaign, but if I look into this property by just clicking up here or the APN itself, I can see on the left, oh shoot, this one doesn't show it, but it should show me the campaign it belongs to. At that point, I'll just go edit here and select the campaign it belonged to. Now, he could have belonged to 3 campaigns. Maybe I mailed him 3, 4 times across the year. So then you'll want to ask him, what is that code on the letter? That's why I say use our mailing, or even another mail house. You can merge our code on there. Ask for that code. Otherwise, you can ask him, when did you receive that mailer? That'll give you an idea, and then you're going to have to manually attach it to that campaign. There's no way around that. You do have to, I think, and Khalil, I think your question was like, is there an automated way? The automated way is to get that code. Otherwise, everything is offline. You do need to ask for it, okay? Yeah. Yeah, you're using non-Pebble mail. So that's how I would do it. It's the same thing. Just the code. Use our code, even if you're using not our mailing system. Okay, cool. I'm gonna continue to answer questions here. Maria, how are you doing? Good to see you. You got a question
Thanks
here.
for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh, no, thanks for joining it. I mean, you're more than welcome to join every week and hang out with me here. Hello, thank you for this call. I'm interested to learn about tagging inside of Pebble and how to automate to send out second and third offers automatically. Okay. Tagging. Help me understand, what are you using tagging for? Maybe you're coming from a different system and you're used to that term. I just need to understand what's the context for tagging.
Well, maybe I used the wrong word. What I meant
That's
is,
fine.
how can I do it that, let's say I send out a mailer, or I send out an offer, and the person didn't accept the offer yet, or is still thinking about it. How can I make it in the system that maybe in a month and 3 months and 6 months?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm
Then
gonna
I guess I would have to tag it somehow to have a name for it.
No, you don't need to do that. So here's the situation, and let me know if I'm correct, okay, Maria? Just leave yourself unmuted so we can sort of have a chat here. You got out of, are you doing mailers? Sorry, leave it unmuted so I can talk to you. Are you doing mailers?
Yes.
Okay, so you're sending out mailers. Somebody called you back and said, hey, Maria, I'm interested. Let me know what your best offer is. Okay. So at that point, that communication is going to come into your inbox, right? They communicate it to you. It's going to flow into your inbox. So I'm going to come back to my diagram here. They've communicated with you, right? It's come back into your inbox. They've expressed interest. That is now an opportunity, a deal opportunity. That means it should belong on your deal board. Okay, we're not tagging them, but we're tracking them on different stages here. So let me give you an example here. Let's just say this person here left me a voicemail, said they're, let's say this person left me a voicemail saying they're interested. Okay, great. Their name is Jesse. They are a seller. Okay, I'm gonna save that. Their expressed interest. I'm gonna add them to the deal board. I'm gonna hit add new deal. I'll call it Jesse 20 acres. I'll call it whatever I want. Okay. Cool. I'm done. I'm gonna archive this. Now, if I go here, I'm gonna do that every day. I've used my inbox as a way to qualify those leads, right? I'm gonna scroll down here. I'm going to find his property because he didn't give me a mailer code, so it didn't get automatically appended. Let's just say it's this one here. Great. I text them back. I say, yeah, sure. I'd like to make you an offer. Can you confirm you're the owner? And they never message you back. Now in your mind, like, oh shoot, I've got to follow up with this person. Like he expressed interest. I better not let this go. Well, at this point, we want to enroll Jesse into an automated follow-up. We see that he's in the lead-in stage. All we need to do is just quick enroll him into one of our follow-up plans. Maybe you're going to send a text to him, and then another text, and then another text, and then the email, and then a mailer. I'm going to send him a mailer now, and then I'm going to send him another mailer. I'm going to send this over to you, Maria. I'm not going to explain how to exactly do all of that in terms of how do I send a follow-up offer. I think it's in my YouTube. Diana, can you see if on YouTube if I've got that like setting like automatic offers, like increased offers, I think that's what it was called. It's on YouTube where I show exactly how to do that. Where in my automated follow-up plan, I'll send like 3 months later an increase of, you know, whatever amount and another increase of another amount. You just have to have everything priced out and ready to go on that spreadsheet. So what I would do in bulk is set up the pricing on there. Otherwise, if you don't do blind offers out of the gate, you can manually insert that offer when you're enrolling them. So you get a chance to also edit those templates or add custom information on there.
Oh, thanks, Diana. Yes. And if you say you increase the prices, do you do that inside Pebble?
So when you brought in the property, are you doing blind offers right out of the gate?
No, they're neutral letters.
Okay, so there's no way you would know what that we wouldn't know what the pricing is, right? So when I enroll them, you get a chance to insert the increased offers for the second mailer, the third mailer, or the fourth mailer, fifth mailer, whatever. We don't know what the base price is, so you're just going to have to enter it manually in. But you can do that pretty quickly once you've priced it.
Oh, okay.
Now, maybe like if you never made an offer to them, maybe you do want to make an offer. I don't know. Maybe you don't need to. You just say, hey, I'm still interested in your property, something along those lines. So you can do both. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, the video that Diana left in the chat, I want you to open that and save it. So once we're done this, you have it. That's based on me having priced everything already. Like I'm doing a blind offer out of the gate, and then I want to increase that offer pretty easily. You know, I can do that.
If you
all
own
that.
list,
Okay. Great. Thank you very much.
Okay. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So I hope that helps. Carolyn, good to see you. Do you need to have a website to use the dialer to set up A2P compliant? Oh boy. Why do you guys throw these compliant questions to me? Oh, I'm sweating here. Yes, Tracy says yes on my team. She's like the go-to wizard when it comes to all this compliance and stuff. Yes. Oh, I needed that. Oh, and there's Mike. All right. Oh boy. All right. I hope that answers the question. Yeah, listen, application to phone, right? Everything is getting a little bit more and more uptight with regulations. And you know, you're continuing to see this over and over. I do see an uptick in terms of people with mailing and mailing success too, which is really cool to hear. Now, take it with a grain of salt. These are people I just randomly brought onto the podcast show, and they happen to be doing mailing. Not everybody, but the people are still love doing mailing. If you haven't listened to the podcast before or watched it on YouTube, it's the Land Investing Secrets podcast. Sorry, Land Investing Business Secrets podcast. Yeah, so check that out. There you go. You need a double opt-in form on your site for the provider to approve you. Okay. So there you go. Double opt-in. That sounds fun. Hey, Mike, how's it going? I answered your questions here. He's a pro.
Sorry I couldn't make it earlier.
All good. We're gonna have the recording. I did answer all, I think, few of your questions at the beginning, but they should all be there explained for you. I don't want to take up everybody's time here, but are there any other questions I can help answer here, guys?
Quick question, Jesse. By any chance, is there a couple week lag time between when you submit the questions, or is there a cutoff time? Because I did submit some questions, but I don't think they populated. Maybe I put them in too late. But is it like if you submit them, they show up the next week?
I'm gonna answer your questions now. I don't know. I don't know when it's collected by my team. It should have been pretty recently. Did you
Okay.
sort of submit that already a few weeks ago? And like I missed it, maybe?
No, I submitted it today,
Oh, yeah.
around I think 2. So.
Oh, like to Eastern?
Oh yeah, so like
Oh, okay.
11 a.m.
Yeah, I think we were already done with the slides by that time. So
Gotcha.
go ahead. I mean, I'll hang around for another 8 minutes here.
Okay. Well, I was wondering if you have any suggestions for call quality at the moment when I'm talking to sellers, the call quality is pretty hard to hear. I've updated my browser, I've done various things, and I don't know if that's a Twilio problem, I'm assuming, but is there any software update that you know helps or anything I should do right now
You
to help
know,
with
like
the
I've
call
heard this
quality?
about sort of any online phone, especially like,
Yeah.
with Open Phone to us to Ring Central, like it's hard. I don't know if it has to do with the region, the phone number itself, um, the device itself. Have you tried on a different device? I mean, I'm assuming you have already though.
Well, since I have Android, I haven't tried it, say, on my Android device. I'm excitedly, patiently waiting for the app to come out
Me
still.
too. Gosh, I feel so bad.
But
Yeah, that is being worked
so
on.
I've tried it just on my, on my laptop, which
Do you have an iPad or anything like that?
no, I do have a tablet though that I could try it on. I
Yeah,
could
you
see
could
how
try it
that
on
works.
there. I would say try
Okay.
it and see what that's
Okay.
like. You know,
Cool.
I've been through many. I used to use Ring Central, Open Phone, like Google. Like, it's a hard one to say this is the issue of what's causing the quality of the phone. So I've seen differences with different connections. I've seen differences with different devices, but I can't guarantee that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. The other question, very much related, is
Yes.
when I have, say, like when you click to dial,
Click
and
to
then you
dial.
listen to see if it's ringing, you cannot hear it ringing. So you might hear one initial ring, and then it's silent. And
Shouldn't be the case.
that has happened ever since I joined, and I've mentioned it a few times to support. I think I mentioned it to Andrea. I know she's not support, but haven't
Have you
really
tried it on a
any.
different device again? That doesn't sound right. Or try and as Tracy said, yeah, on a different connection.
Different connection. I don't know exactly unless you want me to like hotspot it or something, but I'm just using
Try that
my
or hex.
internet connection,
Yeah.
which is fairly. I could try doing, an Ethernet cable maybe and see if that helped
It just
instead of going through
seems to
Wi-Fi.
me. This is the thing with troubleshooting. I don't know offhand what would be causing that issue. Um, Tracy, can we log into Anna? Is this who's talking? I don't see a face, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I cannot have my camera on right now, but yes,
No, 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 Anna.
Anne is the
So,
person talking.
what I'm gonna get Tracy to do is to try and call from your phone later and see if we can replicate the issue. If we can't replicate it, it may be localized.
Okay,
Then you'll need to
interesting.
troubleshoot from there.
Okay.
I mean,
Um,
we've had people who said their phone line is not clear for them, but then their team members it's clear too. So it's hard to pinpoint. There's so many variables with this.
it's not so much the ringing because I can kind of tell, like, okay, it's
Sure.
connected. You can't
Mm,
tell if it's ringing, but it's
mm,
when you hear the voicemail. You'll hear the voicemail, but then you
mhm.
can't hear the beep to leave a message either. So
Okay.
that's really challenging. So I
Yeah, I
will try it on
bet.
my other devices, and that's
So it sounds like any sort of beep noise or anything like that, you just can't hear, like ringings and beeps and stuff, right?
so maybe anything digital. Oh, like,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
instead of, I mean, a
mechanical.
phone recording voice is also digital. So I mean, it's all
Yeah.
digital. It's not like we're analog anymore
Right,
that I
right,
know of.
right. Yeah.
Um, Maybe it's
Um,
anything analog, actually.
yeah. So Tracy, if you can just have a quick test of that, and you can call me or Diana and somebody on the team and just double check since you guys are both here, what's going on with that. I'd appreciate that.
I do actually, so my other question is, this is my wish list, and I have presented it several times, and I know it's kind of on the to-do list that
Mhm,
Kevin is working on. I was just wondering
mhm.
if you do actually have any update about the A2P compliant forms. Right now, the forms that are available to have your leads go directly into the CRM from your
Yeah,
website are not A2P compliant.
yeah.
Um, and it would be absolutely lovely if you were able to get that double opt-in click box
Yeah,
to be
so
able to
we
get the
don't have
leads
that.
into the webs
Yeah, we
from the
don't
web.
have that on our site right now, or our sites right now.
Mhm.
Has it been a? Oh, you're talking about our own forms.
Right,
Now,
I wanna use the Pebble forms and embed them into my website,
isn't
but
there?
since they're not A2P compliant, I can't use them yet
Okay,
because I have to have the form be compliant for opt-in.
got you. Okay. Um, I don't know who. I don't know what the rules are behind that now. Tracy, are you up to date with that? She's like, I'm not coming on.
Anna, you're using a different website for A2P approval or
My acquisition website is not through you guys, but it still has a place where you can put a custom embedded form. So I can
okay,
use your forms. And unfortunately, since they're not in, they don't have the terms
Now,
and conditions opt-in and the texting opt-in because you need a checkbox. And I'm sure it's complicated on some level, but it's not like excessive. You just have to have a hyperlink to your terms and conditions, and it's
yeah.
very, very basic. It's just you need a clickable double opt-in box,
Now,
and
so are you not
that's
able
all.
to just build in that opt-in box onto your form? Like is that what some people do here, Tracy? They just sort of custom build or just add a checkbox, or what do they have?
yes,
What do they on like
I
websites?
can show her a sample later
Okay.
offline.
Okay, sure. I'm sure you can sort of add something to still be able to use our form, Anna.
And your
Okay.
A2P approval, it's with us, right? Or a different provider.
I've been A2P approved through several different, but I have it
Okay.
through you guys as well. But all of the texting, anything texting wise requires double opt-in on your website.
Okay. Let me show you a sample via email so you can take a look. This is what most of our users use. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
All right.
Great.
Um, I had a couple others. I wrote them down. They're not at the top of mind right now, and I know we're at 3:40, so you're probably trying to hop off anyway.
That's fine. We'll add them for the next week. Otherwise, if they're urgent, Anna, I can answer them offline. Well, anyways, I'll have a look at that. I'll get the team to forward that to me. I'll make sure I have a look at that. Other than that,
I
guys,
have a question. I do
yes,
have one other kind of urgent question,
sure,
if you are able.
sure.
Okay. So I'm trying to figure out how to integrate Smarter Contact,
Mm-hmm.
and I reached out to Zapier,
Yeah,
and
Zapier's not gonna help.
yeah, and then I reached out to Smarter Contact, and I'm still more confused than when I started. So I can't really tell if I need some kind of API, like a higher level tier of Zapier, or if I just need a form from. I'm not sure what the cleanest way to do this is because you can just generate a smarter contact form and fill it out and push it to the CRM, but I think you have to have a Zapier of some kind involved.
Okay, so I'm on their documentation. I don't know how Smarter Contact works. I only know launch control. So what can we do here? Integrating apps. Did you go through this video here? I'm sure you did.
I
So
looked at several of them.
what's the typical trigger inside of Smarter Contact that you want to use?
There's actually a button that
Okay.
says push to CRM.
Oh, perfect. It's exactly like launch control.
Okay.
Have you watched my launch control video?
I'm not familiar with I have never used it, so I probably have not watched your launch control video.
Okay, it's the same. So a little fun fact, one of the guys at Launch Control left to start Smarter Contact. So
Oh,
it's
okay,
pretty
All right.
similar from what I understand. You see, I'm going to zoom in here. There's a push to CRM button here. This video is on the chat now. You can open it. And you can push the conversation. You should be able to create a deal right within Pebble and potentially even look up the property and add it to that deal card and the contact, depending on what you captured inside of launch control and placed into a custom field, or sorry, Smarter Contact. It's pretty straightforward. You hit it, it should be able to create a deal right inside of Pebble, just like this picture here. You're going from your external application through Zap right into your deal board.
Interesting.
Are you not able to do that?
I don't have a Zapier set up yet. I have not been able to get an answer on which Zapier to, which tier I need, and
You probably
I'm
need
trying to figure
the...
that out.
Okay, well, let's have a look. Zapier just created a monster from themselves, I swear. So let's look at their pricing. You should be able to use this unless you're using webhooks. So I don't think you need anything beyond professional. Now, launch control to this day uses webhooks through Zapier. I don't know what that even means. But if they, I don't know why they use webhooks, to be honest. I don't know what Smarter Contact does. Now, if you look at their Smarter Contact, Smarter Contact Zapier. Yeah, I mean they have here, let's say. We need to get that renamed. Was our old name. So you can export contact trigger. That's their only trigger they have. So that's their logo, right? Smarter Contact?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can only trigger when contact is exported. I don't know what that means in their language. Maybe that does mean send to CRM, and then you can do a lot of stuff like create a deal or a property record or whatever it is you need to do.
So you can decide what happens.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you click the drop down one more time
For which side?
on the Pebble side?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you can create a contact, create a property, create a note,
Yeah.
update contact. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I think I need to get a video together for you Smarter Contact folks. I might do you have somebody you're in touch with over at Smarter Contact, an account manager or anything like that?
I do. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My understanding though is she's the only account manager they have, and
Okay.
she is available for about 2 minutes once a month because she is so busy. So you need to call your buddy over at Smarter Contact and have them hire another account manager.
I don't unfortunately I don't know anybody here. But yeah, I would go through their help article here. They seem to have a video explaining how to like connect stuff over. I bet you is exactly setting up Zapier API. Why do they call it API though?
Why I've been
Let's-
confused about it because an
Okay.
API is I think it's like the executive plan, and I don't know if it's
I don't
an
think so
API
because
or
you're just using their simple trigger here. And then yeah, you're mapping the fields. It looks pretty straightforward.
Okay.
And
You
then you
warned us in
export the
Dirt
lead.
Hacker that we should never, ideally, if we can avoid it, not do Zapiers. And I know you're kind of sort of tongue in cheek a little bit, but how likely, like if it's the simpler it is, the less likely it is to be broken all the time, right? If it's like a 1 or 2,
Yeah,
as
I mean,
opposed to some kind of 6
yeah,
step, whatever magic secret thing happens in the
exactly.
background.
Okay, here's an example. Like, what happens if they rename property type inside a smarter contact to like, I don't know, property type, even adding a colon or something, they'll break it. And then now you got to go in and figure out, well, what broke that? So it can get
Oh,
annoying.
interesting.
But I mean, they're pretty cautious of what they do. Like, yeah, we made some updates on our Zapier. I'm sure we broke some stuff too along the way. It happens. Yeah.
So you're finding this on the Smarter Contact integration page
I just
with your
Googled smarter
CRM.
contact Zapier.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I found various articles, but I don't think I've seen this particular one, so I
Yeah,
will
it
look
was just
for it
made like a
again,
month ago, so it's
which is
pretty new.
great. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then watch my
Well,
video so you understand conceptually how to do it inside of Pebble, like how to link things into Pebble from texting service.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That really helps. Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah, Zapier's a hard one. And I remember speaking to Zapier before, it's like, who supports who? Like Zapier is like, we can't support, and then like the trigger side won't support, and then we won't support. And it's like you're left stuck. It's hard. I get it. So one of those
Well,
areas, we'll try to give as much guidance as possible and framework. And then
mhm.
you can either hire someone to do it. And like honestly, it's probably easier just to hire someone up work for like a few bucks to do it. Like do it within an hour and then you're done.
Huh.
So
Interesting.
that's what
Okay.
I would do.
Then
Yep.
then if it breaks though, I don't know how to fix it. It's one of
You just
those.
rehire them. Just hire
All
another
right,
guy
all
who's great
right.
at
I like
Zapier.
the way you're thinking here. Okay, cool.
Your
All right.
time is worth much more than what they're doing, right? So that's how I sort of look at it.
Okay. It sounds like Tracy's gonna reach out about the phone ringing situation and possibly also about the clickbox thing. Is that something that
Yeah, I think she'll reach out. She said, "Yep."
okay. Is that
Awesome.
is that gonna be a Zoom or a phone call or
Probably
an email?
by email.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
email. Okay. All right. I will look for the email. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
All right. Thanks, everybody. A little bit over time. Thanks for just hanging tight. Mike, just watch the recording. We'll upload this onto YouTube. I did answer most of your questions. I think all your questions on there. And let me know if you have any other questions. And join me next week. Or if you want to join one of the sessions this Friday that makes sense for you, whether it's the leads and deal or the import session, you can join that as well. You can find that on our homepage under resources and live training. All right, guys.
Yep.
I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Thanks, Jesse.